Welcome to Rise with AI, the podcast that spotlights trailblazers in e-learning and professional training, helping you reach new heights, create impact, scale your vision, and empower others. Today, we're excited to have Lizzy Laymond, the founder and teacher at Book Club Buddies. With over 25 years of experience in primary education, Lizzy has transformed her passion for reading into an innovative online platform that connects children globally through interactive book clubs. Lizzy, let's dive in. What sparked the idea for Book Clubs Buddies, and how has your teaching experience shaped this venture?
Okay, hi. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's very exciting to be here. I've always been very passionate about reading, and as you said, I've already been a teacher for over 20 years now. But I'm also a mother of two children, and my son was very much a reluctant reader, and I really wanted to get him involved in reading. And the only way I could do this was reading with him. And so I spent a lot of time reading with him, and I started working on book clubs with children in person, but they were quite difficult to get organized because parents had to bring them to the clubs and collect them, and it was tricky. And then COVID happened. And during COVID, I was teaching my classes online on Zoom, and I could see how well they were able to access the technology and access Zoom. And I thought to myself, 1 minute, I can actually start reading and working with children online. And that's when the idea came to me that I could help a lot of different readers and share the wonderful experience of reading with children online. And so it sparked the idea of creating the online book clubs, which is now Book Club Buddies.
Yeah, awesome. And so, as a teacher of 25 years of experience, how has your classroom experience really influenced the way you design and deliver your online book clubs?
Well, I think that when you've worked in the classrooms for such a long time, you've worked with all different children, and you can see how to really get the best out of them and what works for different children. And you can help them depending on their specific needs. And that's why all of our book clubs are guided by teachers as opposed to just really excited, passionate people about per se, but teachers, because they really understand children, because our book clubs are for children for 11 years and under. So by working with a small group of children, the teachers can really work with their individual needs because they've had so much time working in classrooms and understanding how to work with different children of different needs. Unfortunately, in the classroom, we don't have as much time anymore to read with children. And that's why I think it's so important to have an opportunity for children to read out of the classroom, and to have fun exploring and discussing and reading a complete book within a small group.
Yeah, I love the ideas of just being in a book club and also exchanging ideas and also learning from each other, right? So because reading is just such an individual sport. So could you share a story about a child or even a family whose experience in with Book Club Buddies has actually been particularly meaningful for you?
Well, it's really interesting because we get lots of different types of readers that join the book clubs. We have really avid readers that are so excited about sharing because, as you said, it's very much a solitary experience sometimes when you're reading your book and you kind of keep it inwards. But actually, sometimes to be able to share and discuss is a really exciting thing to be able to do. And I've had children, speak with me about it, and parents write to me saying, oh my goodness, my child loved being able to talk about it with other children, about what might happen next, about who their favorite character was. But I think for me, I remember right from the beginning, this one parent who said to me, I'm struggling to get my child to pick up a book. They just won't read. And I said to them, okay, join up to this book club and see how you go. And this child has stayed with me now for years because they absolutely love reading. And they're really excited now when every time we deliver a book to them, because we actually deliver a hard copy of the book to the child. They get to actually read from the book itself, and they get very excited and talking about the themes and the characters and what's happening.
I'll ask the question. So Lizzy, the last time that we have discussed, you mentioned that the students, they are able to actually meet each other globally online, and then they're also able to learn each other's culture as well. Can you touch more about that?
Yeah, so when we first start off, every Zoom call, the first Zoom call is always about introducing each other and where we're from. And then obviously we start the book, and the children bring their backgrounds to each session that we have in terms of how they relate to the book. and their experiences, and they share these with the other children. So children get to hear about, other children's backgrounds and their own experiences, and can learn from that. So we really teach children, sort of, as I said, about sort of active listening and being receptive and understanding of different people. And I think that's a really important a skill in life to have. It's really very much a social experience being in one of our book clubs. And we encourage children to participate as much as they can in an environment where they feel safe, and it's very informal and friendly and very familiar. And that way they're as relaxed as they can be and enjoying themselves. And when children are in that sort of space, that's when they really learn the best, I think, as a teacher. Children are always learn better when they're happier and enjoying it. So, and that's what this is all about. It's about, as I said, igniting that passion of reading and a love of books in children, and from that they learn so much.
And how do you actually choose the book that you will be discussing?
That's a very good question. A lot of people ask me that question, and I've got to be very honest with you. It's through a lot of reading. And through a lot of experience. So I spend a lot of my time reading many, many books. I've shared over 100 books now with
Wow.
children. Yeah, I have a lot of books, and I'm just reading all the time. And if I read a book and I think, wow, this is great, I can share this with lots of children, then that will be put into one of my book clubs. I have authors sending me books as well, um, asking me to sort of share their books. So and I will always read a book first, and if I feel that it's something that would be great to share, then that's what we do, and that's how I choose them. Really, it's just through a lot of reading, and again, as an experience as a teacher, books with really great, rich vocabulary, really interesting themes and interesting characters that really I think would get the most out of the children.
Amazing. Is there opportunity also for the children to be able to one day meet the author?
Yeah. In fact, I've had quite a few authors join onto our Zoom calls
Mm,
because they're really responsive. As I send out the books to the children, the authors really like to get involved. Yeah, I've had authors join onto our final Zoom, and the
yeah.
children have had opportunities to speak to them and say, "Oh my goodness, we've just read your book, and why did you do this, and how did you do that?" And it's made it so exciting. I mean, I can't always guarantee that they'll join on, but a lot of them do like to say hello to the children. So yeah, that's always very exciting
Mm,
because the children get so excited. So yeah,
yeah, I
it
love
is
that.
wonderful that they get involved. And I've got some really lovely comments from the authors, from lots of different authors on my website. So because they've given great feedback. So yeah.
Amazing. And I understand that your business has actually grown organically through word of mouth, and you guys really have a very high Google rankings. So, what approach actually worked best to actually attract any new members, and how do you plan to broaden your reach?
Okay, yeah, I think it's very much, as you said, it's been growing organically, very much through word of mouth. I have done some social media marketing. I do post on Facebook and Instagram, but it's, as you primarily because families keep coming back and spreading the word to other families and siblings, it's growing that way. But I am looking at collaborating with different organizations. I have had a collaboration with First News, which is an award-winning newspaper in the UK. They've approached me, so we've done work together. And also another business called Mathnasium have reached out, and we're looking at collaborating as well. So yeah, there are lots of different avenues and opportunities that I'm exploring, but I want to just make sure that I keep things very meaningful, and I grow in a way that sort of keep things personal. I don't want to change the brand and who we are and what we're about, because there are many different businesses out there that are all about promoting reading, but primarily focused on passing exams and 11 plus and SATs, which is primarily in the UK, I understand, but exam focused. And that's not what we are. We're all about building a passion for reading. And from that, they then learn all the techniques, but it's done in a different way. It's all about, really getting that enjoyment, and from there that they'll pick up the sort of the vocabulary and the inference skills and the comprehension, and learn without realizing they're learning, and that's key. So I need to make sure that as we grow, I stay
Yeah.
true to that.
True. Even as an adult, if you are not enjoying the topic that you are learning, you might actually find a huge hurdle to really absorb the essence and also the teachings of what you are actually learning. Yeah, I love to actually hear all these stories about children getting excited and even being able to meet their favorite authors. I think that's just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And also reading different genres. I
True.
think, the fact is I choose books with all different genres and from all different authors. So the children don't just, because sometimes it can be very easy to get stuck with one author and then they just continually read that same book. And so by having lots of different books with different genres, different authors, they get to sort of experience different writing and they can bring that into their own writing and into their own lives as well, which I think is very important.
Love that. Yeah, it just reminds me of how I had a series of like Neil Gaiman's book, and for one time I just kept reading the same book over and over again. Yeah, but yeah,
It's very common. It is very common. And listen, all reading is good. All reading is good. Um, but I think sometimes if you have the opportunity to read different authors, and if it's done in a way that sort of breaks it down and sometimes doesn't make it so daunting, which chapter books can be for many children, they're like, oh my goodness me, that looks like a really long book, and oh, there were so many pages. But actually, when you break it down, as we do in the book clubs, so that it's broken down over 5 weeks, it actually becomes a lot more manageable. And you suddenly, at the end of it all, when I send them a certificate and say, congratulations, you've completed your first book club, it's like, oh my goodness, I finished a whole book. Wow. And it's only half term, and then they realize they can do it all over again, and they sign up, and that's what's so exciting about it.
incredible. So expanding globally is also one of your goals, right? What strategies are you actually currently making for the book club buddies accessible to children worldwide? And also what obstacles you might actually foresee?
Yeah, I mean, there have been obstacles, things like adapting my e-commerce website to make sure that obviously, it can work for children all over the world. Thinking about how obviously posting the books out and changing that sort of side of things, the practical side of it, I suppose, because as I said, we post the book and a special pen, like a Book Club Buddies pen with our highlighter and a bookmark. So we send those all out to the children. So again, it's thinking about that side of things. But really connecting, I suppose, at the moment I'm trying to connect with international schools and speaking with them. Um, but I'm always open to learning new ways and hearing about other ways of trying to connect with people abroad. But as you mentioned earlier, I'm doing really well in terms of my Google ranking. So I'm actually getting a lot of organic searches from parents all over the world who are finding me, going, "Oh, do you send the books out to X, Y, or Z?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, absolutely." And they're actually finding me, which is wonderful, because clearly they're very, interested in helping their children learn and grow, which is what we're all about, and find that passion for reading. So something I definitely want to be learning more about and hopefully expanding more through different contacts that I've been making. So yeah.
And so, as a solo founder, also managing teaching and also business operations, how do you actually stay organized? And also, what tools or systems have been helpful for you in running book club buddies?
Okay, so yeah, since teaching, obviously, I've been teaching, as I said, for over 20 years, and you can throw me into a classroom and I know exactly what to do, and it comes very naturally to me. Running a business has been a very steep learning curve, but that's a great thing because I love to learn. So it's wearing all these different hats, marketing hats and sales hats, and learning about sort of different technology. So I've been using obviously Zoom to run my live interactive sessions. And obviously setting up my e-commerce website, and making sure that this allows for smooth payment and scheduling and communication. I use email platforms like MailChimp to help me and to keep families in the loop. And I suppose I also use design tools like Canva to help me with my social media marketing on Facebook and Instagram. So yeah.
So, we would love to also hear how does AI currently play in the role of in your operations, or are there any areas that you're actually looking to integrate AI further to enhance the experience for your members?
I'm sure there will be. I currently don't use AI a huge amount, but it is definitely something that I know, as AI evolves, and it is definitely something that I will be bringing in. But I couldn't specifically say how at this stage, but I know that definitely in the future it will be part of my business, as I think it will be all businesses, because it is so incredible. It is, as I said, it is definitely something that I will look into. I don't use it really a huge amount at the moment, but as I said, it's definitely something that I will look into using more as the business develops.
Understand. And last question, what would you actually say to the parents who might be actually comprehensive or who are already considering to actually have their child, bring their child in to be involved in the book club buddies?
Oh. um, I would say fantastic. That's amazing. I'm so pleased that they want to help ignite their child's passion for reading, and to please get in touch and to sign their children up, because as well as making them excited about reading, it also improves their literacy skills, and it offers an opportunity for their child to have fun exploring and discussing and reading a complete book within a small group. So yeah, please feel free to get in touch, and join your child up, because it isn't a subscription model. And as I sort of said, that's really important to me, because I want the children to join up again and again and again because they're loving it. And so far, that's worked really well, and that's very important. So yeah, I would say join up to a book club. It certainly would benefit their children, lots of different ways.
Actually, I have one more questions about. I was wondering if your children were they the first member of the book club?
Yes. My son was, I did. He was in he was in quite a few book clubs. And you know what? He really enjoyed it. He really enjoyed it. And the fact that he didn't complain about it and didn't go, "Oh no, I don't want to be in it, mum," made me realize something was working. So yeah, I knew from that point. I thought, 1 minute, this I've got something going here that's working. And as I said, the feedback and the growth has been amazing, and I just love it. I love sharing these amazing books with children. And the fact that they can talk about it and chat about it. And actually, this week is my final week of my summer two book club. So yesterday I finished off a book club, and it was so sad. And I was saying to the children, have a wonderful summer. They're like, oh my God, we can't wait to see you in September. And they're so excited about getting the new book that they've already signed up to. So yeah, it's sad, but also then exciting, because I'm about to start all over again in September with our new book clubs. So yeah.
Love that. All right, so we'll actually end off with three rapid questions for you. So Lizzie, don't think, just say out the first answer that come into your mind. Okay.
Okay, I'll try. Go on then.
Question one: what's your go-to book for inspiring children to read?
My go-to book, probably, oh, I
That's a
don't
tough one.
know.
I know.
It's so hard. I've read over 100 books. In fact, I'm sitting. I know. You said only give me one quick answer, but right in front of me now, I've got over 100 books in my library in front of me, and I'm looking at them thinking, which one? Which one?
Just one book
Literally
to
couldn't.
bring to the island. To the island, just one book.
Uh, I l- Michael Morpurgo is a fabulous author. So I would probably bring Kensuke's Kingdom. And as when I was teaching, I don't teach anymore in schools, because I obviously run the book clubs full time now, with the rest of my staff. But when I was in school, I used to always read Kensuke's Kingdom with the children, in years 4 and 5. And I love this book because I've been reading it for such a long time. And yeah, so probably Michael Morpurgo's Kensuke's Kingdom, which is all about a boy who finds himself abandoned on an island. So yeah,
Love that. Two,
that's probably
if
that one. Go
you
on then.
if
Sorry.
question two, if you could have dinner with any author, who would it be and why?
Oh, another fantastic question. Goodness me. Um, Probably Catherine Rundell, because she writes just such beautiful books. I love the way she expresses her thoughts and ideas. So I'd love to have a dinner with her. I've heard her speak before as well, actually, and I've gone to a couple of her talks. So yeah, I think she's fantastic. So I'd probably have dinner with her. That'd be nice.
And last question, what's one surprising thing about running an online book club for children that most people might not know?
Probably how fun it is. You know how enjoyable it is. It really doesn't feel like work. a lot of people complain to me about their job, and I sit there and I'm quite quiet because I'm a bit like, oh, it's a bit awkward, but I love what I do. I'm so passionate about it, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun reading and talking about books with children, and it's as I said, it's a real passion of mine, and it's not about correcting children, and it's about connecting children. And I think it's such a wonderful thing to be able to do, and to call that work, really, because it isn't work, it's fun. And I love to do it, and the great feedback I get is just is wonderful. So yeah, that's probably what I would say. Most people are quite surprised, thinking, oh, working with children. I'm like, no, in this way it's fantastic, because you're not following this national curriculum tells you to do it in a certain way. You can follow the children's lead, and get their ideas, and every book club's different. I could run the same book with different groups of children every time. It's a very different
Right.
experience because of what they bring and what they pick out. And you go, oh, I didn't think about it that way. That's brilliant. Or, oh, I didn't know you realized you thought he was that. Or maybe I thought he was that. And it's just really exciting. So, yeah, that's what I would say.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, this is the dream for all adults, honestly, to just work and also have fun at the same time. So that's all for today's episode of Rise with AI. Lizzy, where can people find you online?
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn under Lizzy Laymond, my name. And if you're interested in joining up to a book club, you can find me on the website, bookclubbuddies.com. And I'm on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram under Book Club Buddies, the number 4 kids, KIDS. So Book Club Buddies for Kids. So yeah, lots of different places to find me and our team. And hopefully we will see lots of children and share lots of amazing books.
Wonderful. A huge thank you to Lizzy Laymond for sharing her inspiring journey with Book Club Buddies and a passion of getting children excited about reading. My biggest takeaway is that how fun book club can actually be, and can also foster global connection among children. So listeners, if this episode inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe for more conversations with leaders in e-learning and professional training. Until next time, keep reaching, impacting, scaling, and empowering. See you soon.